Welcome back. With close to 25,000 confirmed COVID-19 cases across New Mexico, the virus represents a public health risk, as many across the state are seeking alternatives to a return to in-person learning. Destinations Career Academy of New Mexico and Sacred Wind Communications, they're working together to make online learning more accessible to students and families statewide. I spoke with John Bedell. He's the CEO of Sacred Wind Communications about how they are closing the digital gap and expanding access to online learning. John Bedell is joining us this morning. He is the CEO of Sacred Wind Communications. John, it is great to have you with us.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here.
And right now we know that COVID-19 has changed so many things, and of course a lot of kids now doing their education at home online. And even with the news of APS talking about extending it through the end of the semester, let's talk about some of the barriers that exist for families now.
Yes, well, particularly in the rural areas of the state, and most seriously, I think, in the northwest corner of the state, we have thousands of homes without access to adequate broadband service for children to participate in online schooling. It's sort of, this COVID has been a wake-up call, I think, for many policymakers in the state, parents and broadband companies alike, to get this digital bridge connected sooner than later.
And again, just one of the many hurdles out there. Let's delve a little bit specifically right now into this collaboration between your company and the Destinations Career Academy of New Mexico.
Yes, well, the Destinations Career Academy has established an agreement with the Gallup-McKinley County School District to provide distance learning to all of the students within the district, and even beyond that, as long as there is reached by broadband. And there are, as I mentioned before, there are quite a number of homes, especially on tribal lands up in the northwest part of the state, that don't have access to adequate broadband for distance learning purposes. So we are working in partnership with the school district and the Destinations Career Academy to ensure that as many children as possible, many households as possible, will have access to adequate broadband.
And again, having to come up with this in such a short time period since everything started in the lockdown process in March, you know, what are the some of the hurdles left to getting most of this, to expanding broadband to these parts of New Mexico?
Well, one of the major difficulties of expanding broadband to rural areas is that in many rural areas of the state, broadband is delivered by landline, in some cases inadequate landline, old copper cable to the home. In many tribal areas, there is no cable at all. I mean, just there's an absence of connectivity whatsoever. So what we're trying to do, when we are advantaged by having one of the most scalable, flexible networks in not only in New Mexico, but in the entire Southwest, and we can more easily expand through fixed wireless means and fiber to fixed wireless. We can expand service to homes more readily. And we even have begun to do so even with temporary towers on wheels, we call them, where we can roll out a 100-foot tower connected to a fiber cable and a power source, and we can immediately get broadband to homes within an 8 to 10 mile radius.
Wow. And kind of a technical question here, as far as connectivity, I mean, that's virtually some of the speeds that we're seeing, like even when you're connected via fiber lines in town?
Well, we are today getting 100 megabit to the home by way of fixed wireless. And a lot depends on, of course, the distance. Going a little farther out, 7, 8 miles, we could easily get 25 megabit to the home. Most of the homes in our tribal service territory are receiving a minimum of 25 megabit to the home, and some quite a bit higher, up to 100 megabit.
That is amazing. John, where can we learn more about your company and some of the other accomplishments that are being made?
Well, thank you. You could access our website at www.sacredwindcommunications.com, and you could also access information directly from the Destinations Career Academy by going to a website. Let me read it to you. It's nmdca.k12.com.
John Bedell, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
We'll have a full recap of that entire interview by heading over to alwaysonkRQE.com later on this morning.